Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Every Gay Sex. You're here with Stella and Sarah for episode 7.
Yay.
What's up?
What's up? So we've been off a couple weeks. We took off some time for Christmas and just family time. So what have you been up to? Catch us up on the last few weeks, Stella.
Well, the last time we kind of talked on the podcast, we said we were doing the comedy show with Mr. Burden. Sorry, I got a random text message.
Which
Yeah,
was really
so we went to the comedy show. It was super good. We got to see lots of friends. It was great. Honestly, like I remember Sarah looking at me a few times and I was just dying laughing. I just couldn't hold it together. But no, it was good. And then I went home for Christmas for a couple of days to see my family, my brother, which was nice. Got to see my old best friend from back home. And then I just came back and I got to grinding and working. And now I'm off for a few days. Well, I'm back tomorrow, but I was off yesterday. I'm off today and get to relax and recover from my late night of dancing.
Yeah, you were doing exactly that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I came home on the 25th and got to enjoy like a really, really nice Christmas dinner with my roommate and her friend and my current CSP and their current CSP. And yeah.
And how's that going? How's your CSP?
It's going.
Mm-hmm.
Some roadblocks here and there for sure, but hopefully stuff we can just work together to go through.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm being totally transparent to my fans, I'm just kidding, no fans, to our listeners.
Yeah.
I think I found myself in a place where I've always been in a relationship, and now this is the year I'm finally I've taken to be alone and, really heal and work on myself. And I'm at a point where I'm like, okay, am I fully ready to do something like this, or do I need more time? And we're just trying to navigate through if both of us need more time, or if I'm entirely ready for anything, or if they're entirely ready for anything, if this is the right time, like we're just kind of trying to navigate some rocky roads. But I do very much enjoy this person and spent a lovely Christmas with them. So, and we'll have a nice New Year's tomorrow as well.
That's
what about you, Sarah? Yeah, that is tomorrow. How was your holidays and your current CSP?
Yes, I went home to Ottawa for 10 days and I had a really nice time. I guess it was a little up and down because my mom was like in and out of the hospital. So it was a bit of like health concerns and a bit of like, low points for that. But then we hung out, you and I, the comedy show was super good. Saw some other friends and I spent some time with hard launch. Okay, I love the hard launch and soft launch concept. I've been taking full advantage. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen my several soft launches of my partner. And so headline news, I have a girlfriend.
Boo! Single forever.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. So so this is the hard launch. I've been thinking about this. I'm like, because you and I said we are not going to talk about like naming real names and whatever unless it's like very serious. So this is the first time I will use someone's real name on this podcast.
Before, what was the name we had?
Oh, am I revealing the back story?
No, you don't have to.
Well, our listeners would know her as Lana, okay? And
Yeah.
a girl I saw last fall who re-entered my life this fall, and she's back in Ottawa, so we're long distance, but she has the
Typical.
typical lesbian shit, swear. Like of course I would fall for someone that's back home, like that's the worst, but when she reached out to me in the like this fall, right away I was like, okay, yeah, I'm not leaving this island. Like hey, what's up, how are you? Also, if you have any interest in this, just so you know, I am not leaving Vancouver Island for any reason ever. So
Mm.
if you want to continue this, you would have to have, plans to move here. So
Mm.
um classic U-hauling. And she said, like, yeah, she has nothing tying her to Ottawa and she would love to be out here, so we're just kind of working through plans for that to happen. So that's exciting. Her name is Liv, and
Yeah.
and she listens to this podcast, and I hope as she's listening right now she's smiling. I know that's, I'm sorry.
God.
Okay,
Sorry,
yeah.
Kaylee, I hate love.
I know you're such a fucking Grinch, brother.
I know, I've been one recently. I don't know, I'm just in a weird place in my life.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so yes. Um we had a nice Christmas together, and she asked me to be her girlfriend. Yay. Oh, and we got permanent bracelets. Cause that's, yeah, anyways, with each other's initial. And she got me this beautiful ring that I'm wearing. No, yeah, this one right here.
Why didn't you fucking say? Oh.
I don't know. Well, I don't know. But it's not any ring. Normally when you buy somebody a ring, it's like purposeful, you know what I mean? But this was just a ring because she knows I like to wear rings.
Mhm.
And yeah, so she is beautiful and perfect and has the most amazing green eyes.
Oh, God. Well, you
And
know
she,
what? My current CSP has gorgeous dark eyes, and I gave them a nice necklace
why are you trying to
that
compete with me?
that matches my ring.
Whoa.
Ah.
Don't try to compete with me.
You're
Okay.
right. You're right. I'm sorry. I'm just being bitter.
And still met Liv. We spent a little bit of time together. We haven't really done enough, like,
No, we haven't done enough for me to really get to know them, but I do think they're very nice.
yeah. Oh, she's perfect and kind. This whole episode could be me just talking about how I'm so in love with her. But I'll spare Stell because Stell will leave if that's the whole episode. So
What?
I said I could make this whole episode about how in love with her I am, but you wouldn't want to stay for that. So
I will sign off.
yeah, signing off here. Thank you. So anyways, that's the hard launch. I'm off the market. I'm cuffed. Cuffing season got me, guys.
That's tough. Oh,
And
no.
when have I ever? When's the last time, like when I hard launched her on my Instagram? It's been a very long time since I've been someone's girlfriend.
It's been a really long time.
Like it'd be Brittany, I guess.
Yeah, so what? 3 years?
Yeah, at
2.5
least
years.
two. Yeah, yeah. So I'm excited. She's met my family. We're we're just in a good place. So that's it. That's I'm just excited. Oh my god, I'm so like oh. Anyways, shout out to Liv, shout out to Lana. Um
Yeah.
that's
Let's
funny.
shout out to all the ladies this year and non-binary ladies. Like, let's shout out all these ladies in my life. Who I don't remember all these names. I don't remember any of their names. Either real names I remember, but the code names I don't remember. Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah, no, honestly, all the women that have or the people that have contributed to our content over these last 3 seasons. Thank you. It's been
Thank
good.
you, really.
Thank you for the content. So, okay, speaking of, we would like this episode is a is titled Reflections and Projections, which is going to be Stella and I going over 2023, how the year was, what we've learned, etc., and how we're feeling right now, and what we're hoping for in 2024. So, first, before we get into it, I'd like to share a voice note. I love doing things and not telling Stell first. It's my favorite thing.
What?
Okay, so
Oh God.
I'm gonna play the voice note that Stell sent to me on Christmas. So I'm hoping it'll work through the microphone. Okay.
I hate when you do this shit.
Okay, I'll play it right now.
I was just calling to freaking wish you a Merry Christmas because I love you. Here I am making you another audio note. I'm still new. I love you very much. Thank you for the incredible year. I can't wait to see what our next year looks like. And I hope this year brings you so much joy and love, Sarah, full of new adventures. I think you've made the best choice moving out there. I've never seen you happier. I've never seen you feel more like yourself. I love you every day. I think about you every day. I can't wait to one day be out there with you. I just love you. I owe you the world. You've seen me grow in different ways and just so much. And I just don't think anyone's been there as long as you have. And I wouldn't be the person I am today without you. And thank you for being so consistent in my life. And, showing me what a true friend is. So I love you. Merry Christmas to you and your family. I wish you all good health and love and wealth and peace. And I'll see you soon.
Cute, guys. Isn't
You're
that
not
so
supposed to expose me for being a nice person.
absolutely soft as fuck? So that's anyway. I just wanted to share. I thought that was so cute and
Well,
nice.
I can pull up a few of my own voice notes.
I think so. Mine are different than that. So anyway, I just thought that was a nice little representation of our friendship and our year as we've done this podcast together. So anyway, cute voice note. Now let's get into it. I'll start with asking you a few questions about your year. So, Stell, how was 2023 for you?
Now this year, I would say it was a roller coaster of emotions. I'd say it was a full growing year for me. It was a year of mistakes and learning from them, and it was a year of healing. And doing things for myself. Really, this year was kind of looking back at who I was and asking myself if I liked that person or not, and making a change for that matter. Yeah, I'd say this year was full of a lot of things that were unfair, but also things that kind of made me who I am. A lot of incredible memories that I'll never forget. A year of sobriety, almost, I guess half a year sobriety, 7 months of sobriety. Yeah, like it was just a year of kind of, I would say, becoming one of the best versions of myself. Yeah.
Agreed. And so Next question is, what have you accomplished in 2023? And before you answer, I just want to say to the listeners, or to you and to listeners everywhere, if all you accomplished in 2023 is just getting by and getting through the year, congratulations to you, because that can be hard. And I think we do put so much focus on checking boxes off and reaching milestones. And sometimes, like I said, sometimes we don't get to that. Sometimes as far as we get is just getting through if we've had a really hard year, or even regardless. I just want to say, if all you've accomplished is getting through the day, then you're still, worthy of feeling accomplished for your year. So back to you. What have you accomplished? Like, what stands out to you as your biggest accomplishments in 2023?
I put being sober.
For sure.
Is probably the biggest accomplishment that I've made. If any of you who are listening have known me longer than a year, or even longer than 6 months or 7 months, you would have known that I was a huge partier and I loved to drink and spend a buckload of money on alcohol. And I don't know, I guess I don't think I was ever really a big issue with my friends when I drank, but I was definitely a liability. And it obviously hurt my relationships, and being sober and growing up mentally and emotionally has been like some of the best accomplishments that I've done this year. And like also like finding the first steps to top surgery and going through that process was like awesome. So I
Nice.
think those are some accomplishments. Like being sober especially is like my number one accomplishment this year, is still being sober,
Mhm.
and choosing to be sober because I want to.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's a huge accomplishment. And especially, like, I think a lot of people choose to start the sobriety journey in January because there's not really much going on January, February, March, April, May. Like, that it's quiet, you're inside, winter, spring. You started in June, correct?
June
Like
5th,
the
yeah.
peak of summer,
Yeah.
parties, festivals. Like, I remember when you were like maybe 1 month sober and you said you were going to Escapade, the
I
music
know, I
festival.
went to Escapade and
I
Blues
was like,
Fest, and I went to
I
Blues
was
Fest sober, like
I was worried. I was like, "Oh my god, like you're going into fucking expert level of being sober only 1 month in." Like again, most people start in January, they do the holidays, they drink and they overdrink, and then, New Year's Day they're
yeah.
hungover and they're like, "Okay, I'm going to stop drinking." But you went at the hardest possible time and made it through all of summer and all of the holidays. So it's a
Yeah.
huge accomplishment for sure.
Yeah, I would say. Yeah. It was definitely a test of character and
Mhm.
of mental strength and emotional strength. And I've just been challenged in so many ways this year that I think I've nailed it.
For sure.
Sometimes, I definitely is not perfect, but pretty darn close.
Totally. And is there anything that you maybe wanted to accomplish that you didn't get to this year that maybe you'll do next year?
I wrote relationship issues.
Hmm.
I feel like I focused this whole year on me as a person and liking myself and liking the version of who I was, because I don't think I liked myself very much before, even though I seemed very happy and very, you know, but I
Mhm.
don't think I really liked who I was before. And so this year I focused on all that kind of stuff, and I don't think I really got to focus on issues in relationships that I have. And I do think that a lot of my issues in relationships have been solved or are getting better because of the work that I've done on myself. But there are things that need to be worked with, like another person, and that's what I'm trying to navigate right now. Because I can come off as, I would say, a little cold sometimes and harsh, because some things don't make sense to me, in the sense of like certain arguments where it just doesn't make sense to me. so I don't think it's a big deal. But it's because I'm just not putting myself in the other person's shoes. And so I just have to remind myself that other people are obviously more sensitive or are sensitive to different things that I'm not sensitive to. And it's just all about having to care about someone else's feelings. And I just haven't had to do that in a very long time. So sometimes I'm a little cold because I just don't care.
Mhm.
It just doesn't matter to me, like, these things to argue over. They seem to be things for me that that could just be solved by a conversation of being like, "Hey, I actually didn't like that you did that," and I'd be like, "Oh, okay, totally cool, sorry."
Mhm.
But I know that other people just don't react the same way I do, so I have to remember that not everyone is going to deal with the situation the same way I do, and that I can't be upset about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So those are things that's something I just would really like to focus
Mhm.
that I didn't really get to focus on this year.
Well, you were focused on yourself, and that was important. Like, I think
Mm,
that was what you should have been focused on this year, and you accomplished that. So, but the awareness, like what you're saying, the awareness of how you are in relationships and maybe how that can be improved. We can all improve all the time, right? So, I think
yeah.
that's a good thing to focus on next. And what did you learn this year? What stands out to you?
Um, I wrote that you're the only person that can really do it for yourself. Like, if you don't want to make a change, then there won't be a change. But if you want it and you want to get better, and it'll happen because you want it. And like at the start of this year, it was all about I tried to get sober for my ex, and then that lasted like a month and a half, and I tried to do all these things for my ex, and none of them really seemed that possible, and it just felt weird. But now that all these things are for me, like, I don't know, like, I think I learned that life's just a little unfair sometimes, and that there's a way to handle certain situations that don't need to be the way they are, and I just need to like take a second and like really think and not react, and trying not be as impulsive and nicer, and not make out with people all the time because I want to make out with people and I have other people's feelings to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned that if you want to get better and do better, you have to like actually really want it and then do something about it. You can't just say that you want it. You gotta like do something about it, which is eventually where I was like, I hate drinking, like I want to get better, like I want my life to be better, and the only way was to really just cut it off cold turkey
And I
in my
think
life. Yeah,
I
sorry, go
I
ahead.
think I think what you said about doing it for yourself and not for other people is super important because I can see the difference in you when you were getting sober for a girl, like for your ex, and like wanting to do things so that she would come, like so that things would work out again, or like whatever. Just
Mhm.
making changes for another person is short lived. Like those are
Yeah,
not going to like
yeah,
withstand time. So, and I can see now that the changes you're making are really for yourself, and
yeah,
that's what's going to hold up over time. So
yeah.
okay, and so now I like the phrase peak and valley. So what was your peak of the year,
Mm-hmm.
as in your top like moment that stands out, or whatever, and then your valley would be like your lowest moment of the year.
Okay, so my peak was hitting 6 months sober. Probably was the happiest I've been. I went to a dinner that was super great with a bunch of people that love me and that I love. And it was just like, I remember sitting back at this table at one point, and I just like, everyone was talking to each other. Like, all these people at this dinner, like, they don't really know each other. They're all from different friend groups, all of my friends. And they were all just like, I knew I could do this because I know my friends so well that all my friends are really good at just like, I don't have to babysit any of them. Like, they're all good at like talking to other people, whether or not they know them. And so everyone was talking to everyone. And I remember I sat back at one point and just kind of looked around. And I remember being like, wow, like this is like a highlight of my life. Like this is
Yeah.
like crazy. And I remember I went home for Christmas and my best friend from back home who's known me since I was like fucking Timbits.
Mhm.
She looked at me and she said, "Who would have thought, Stell? Who would have thought that you out of our friend group would be the first one to be sober?" And I was like, "I know." And she was like, "Do you want to go for a cigarette?" And I was like, "I actually also don't smoke cigarettes anymore." And she's like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm actually like 80 something days sober for cigarettes." And she's like, "Fuck you, man." And I was like, "I know." Like, I just kind of, I don't know. I obviously smoke pot, but I just
Mhm.
like, there's some things that were beneficial in my life that, and there's other things that aren't. And I don't really like smoking cigarettes.
I didn't know that you quit smoking cigarettes until just now.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. It's been, let's see. It's been 208 days of no alcohol and 87 days of no cigarettes. So almost 3 months, no cigarettes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Like
Thanks.
you weren't smoking cigarettes all day every day. It's like a bit the alcohol was probably were you?
I was going through like a pack every 2, 3 days.
Okay, so you were smoking enough then.
Yeah.
Like
I like
enough
got
to make
into it really heavy because I actually started because of Tiffany.
knew it. I knew it. As soon yeah, yeah.
Well, initially it started, and then I just kept going, and then I was upset about us, and so I started to be in a dark, gloomy era where I was just
Mhm.
smoking cigarettes, walking down the street by myself.
You brother.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, but that's done. That's good. That's
Yep,
exciting.
yeah. So I
And your
would
valley?
say my value was being sober.
No, no, your peak. That's your
Oh yeah,
peak.
my peak. Sorry, it
Yeah.
was being sober, and just looking around me and just seeing that moment of everyone was here for to like celebrate me being one of the best versions of myself.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
My valley, I wrote uh, reliving. So when I got sober, I felt like I had to re-grieve everything that I had already done all the work before I was sober, and clearly I just didn't do the work. So my valley was having to re-heal and re-grieve my breakup, and having to go through that process was literally so exhausting and horrible. And all I did was just cry, and I didn't know why I was crying all of a sudden again over this because I'd already went through it all. And regret, and my value was that, and all the moments of feeling so like helpless and so like mad at myself because of who I was, than that I didn't like that person before. And so that was a big valley for me, I would say. And
Mhm.
all the fucking car accidents that I got into this year.
Oh fuck, true.
Well, it wasn't even my fucking fault. And
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, yep.
Okay, and I guess this question I feel like I could answer for you. What are you most proud of this year?
Oh yeah, it's obviously being sober.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, Sobriety is like the biggest thing in this whole year. Is
Mhm.
just being sober and doing well in my day job and making an impact. And I'm proud of the work that I've done with these kids, and I'm proud of the work that you and I have both done here, and I'm proud of, just like the person I've become and all the work that I've done through all the therapy, and I'm proud of all the time I've been sober and feeling really good. And yeah.
Nice. That's awesome. And last question about this year, or about yeah, about 2023. Who was the most influential person that you met this year?
Honestly, I think two people. One of them has to do with my other job, my day job, and it's probably my boss. She's like the most incredible person I've ever met in my life. Like, I've never met someone who is older than me, that old, like who's like significantly older than me, and we are the same person.
Mhm.
We literally think the same. And like I would not want to work with anyone else, and she has like really changed me into thinking about things, and she's pushed me to work hard, and she's taught me so many great things, and I just think that like she's in the work environment, she's an incredible influence for me. Um and then on the outside world, I actually chose one of our guests. I chose this Kato.
Nice. Oh
Yeah,
my gosh, I love that.
I think my conversation with them and our conversation with them on the pod like was really really eye-opening and very nice. I don't know if you really know this about me, but I actually spoke about it today with my current CSP. um and I was like, yeah, like I don't have a lot of gay friends or queer friends or any kind of, like, and it's more of a choice. I used to be in a really big group of like lesbians, and there's just so much drama, and I hated every second of it. And I've never really been one to be so flamboyant and go around and be like, "Oh, like I'm gay, I'm gay, I'm gay," like or where and like I just like to live my life, and I think it's pretty obvious that I'm gay, and that's okay, and I'm cool with that. And I don't really think I need to shout it from the rooftops.
Mm.
If you want to, by all means, hell yeah, like I don't care, like I live your life. But I've had a hard time now creating friends that are queer at this age now, where I've already made like I find at this age you're probably gonna stick around with the friends that you have, and the new friends that you make are gonna be less and less
Mhm.
as you get older. So I think I've just kind of hit a point where now I don't really have a lot of opportunities to meet a lot of gay friends. So Kato, well,
Credo? Yeah, yeah.
Kato, um, was really nice to talk to about
Mhm.
stuff that I actually don't really get to talk to about anybody else. I have nobody in my life who has gone through that process, and who's like just I don't know. And even last night there was this masked lesbian that was trying to get my attention, and I'm just like sitting over here. I
Mhm.
have my glasses on, and I'm just like right, and this person like tapped me on the shoulder. I'm like, what? Like, what's up? Like, what? Do I know you? Like, I don't know what you want. I'm clearly dancing my life away here. Stop
Right.
bothering me.
Yeah.
I'm clearly in the zone right now.
Right,
And,
right.
and I'm just like, what? What?
Mhm.
And they're like, hey. And I'm like, hi. And I'm like, what's up? What, like, do you need something? Like, is everything okay? And they're like, yeah, like, I just remember you from warehouse. And I'm like, cool. I don't work there anymore. I'm going to go back to dancing.
Oh my god, you're antisocial.
Because I'm a dick, and I'm antisocial to people. I feel like, and I know this might come off as wrong, but I don't want any more friends.
She's
I
at
just,
capacity. Mhm.
I just have so many friends, and, but I do, and it gets
Yeah.
exhausting because I feel bad. Like having that dinner, I wanted to invite so many more people, but I genuinely just wanted to have a dinner with like 4 people.
Mhm, mhm,
And it's hard because I feel like I'm gonna let people down, or people are gonna think that they're not really my friend because I don't invite these things. But it's like, oh, like I do want you there. It's just I want a small gathering, or I
mhm.
don't want a big circle anymore. And it doesn't mean you're not my friend anymore. It's just like my circle is just getting smaller, and I prefer a smaller circle nowadays.
Yeah.
And I like small circles in different areas, though. You know what I mean?
Mhm,
Like I have
mhm,
my drinking buddies that I go to the bar with, and I have my uns buddies, and I have my smoking pot buddies, and I have
mhm,
like you know what I mean? Like I
mhm,
have different friends for different things, and that's fine. But I guess I didn't really leave the door open for queer buddies. And
mhm.
so when that person tried to talk to me, I just didn't I wasn't very very nice. I don't think. I don't know. I wasn't mean. I was smiling. I was just like, "Oh, cool." Like I don't work there anymore. And then I was like, but I'm gonna go back to dancing. So,
Yeah.
and I just didn't care to talk to them, but I could tell they wanted to talk to me all night, and I just was weirded out by it. I think I was uncomfortable because I don't know how to make queer friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I got off topic, but Kato,
Yeah.
Kato, whatever, it was incredible to talk to, and I think they are a very big influence on how I see top surgery and things like that.
Nice.
And
Yeah. No,
polyamory
they're
and stuff.
great. It's a good choice.
Yeah. So that is my reflections on
Mhm.
the last year. And let's hop over to you, Sarah. So, how was your year?
My year was super great. I feel like it started off, I didn't really know what was happening. Like, I didn't know where I was going to be living. I didn't know, like, what I was going to be doing or, like, anything. I had a lot of unknowns as the year got started and kind of found my path and found my way out to Vancouver Island. And since then, it's been, like, amazing. Like, the people I've met here and just the place I live and the activities I'm getting into and the adventures that I've had, like it far exceeds any of my expectations for what this move would have been. So I would say overall my year was like fantastic. Like
Mhm.
I'd probably give it like a 9 out of 10.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
9 out of 10. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
What have you actually? I'm gonna talk about that actually for a second though. Actually, I love that you made this choice to move out there. I was really sad because I wouldn't see you, and it's not like we saw each other a lot anyways. We were here, but I was making more of an effort now that I had a car. But then you moved away.
Yeah.
But I think it was the best decision that you could have. I've never seen you happier. Let's just say that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What have you accomplished in 2023?
Um So I feel like when we reflect on our years, for you, your biggest highlight is the sobriety, and that comes up in a lot of the answers for you. And for me, it was moving out here, like because
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing I've done this year. So what have I accomplished? I moved out here by myself, didn't know a single person on the island, didn't know where the fuck I'd even be getting groceries that week. Like, didn't know where the gas station was. Like, came out here with absolutely nothing
Mhm.
and built like the most beautiful possible life for myself out here, whether it be my social circle and just the location itself and how I've finally found somewhere that I like. When I got on the plane to come back here, of course I was sad because I'm, my family and now my girlfriend is there and whatever, but um I've never been so excited to go home, like to come back somewhere in
Mm.
my life. Like going home to Timmins, I was like, oh fuck, like no. And then going home to Ottawa, I was like, oh my God, I don't want to go. I never wanted to go home. And
Mhm.
now like getting to the airport, I was like, okay, yeah, let's go. Like back to the
Yeah.
island. Like and it feels amazing to have somewhere where I'm so excited to be every day. And I
That's
feel fortunate every day. So I think my biggest accomplishment is getting myself here and
Mhm.
establishing myself so well, so
I
fast.
love that. We love to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. And again, if all you've accomplished in 2023 is getting by and staying above water, that is okay.
Yeah, that's important.
Is there anything you wanted to accomplish that you didn't get to this year?
I was giving this one some thought. Honestly, I started writing things and I'm like, that isn't even really true. Honestly, no. There's nothing that stands out to me that I like set out to do and didn't get to. Like I think that um I was busy this year getting myself situated and getting myself settled, and there isn't really anything that comes to mind that I didn't do. So that's good.
Mhm. Good. I love to see it.
Hmm.
Okay, next one. What did you learn this year?
Yes. I learned the importance of location. I know that people say like, "Oh, it doesn't matter where you are, it's the people you're with." That's fucking bullshit. That is so bullshit. I have like yeah, I mean, I'm in Ottawa and I've got, like, when I'm in Ottawa, I've the people like my family and friends and my partner and whatever. But there is something so important about, if you have the ability to get yourself to where you actually want to be, physical location, it makes such a difference. Like, I have the best and closest social circle that I've ever had in my life. And it's because I'm somewhere that I actually want to be. And I want to go out and be hiking every day. That's like my passion. That's what I do every single day with my dog. And so I'm meeting friends that are out hiking every day and that want to do that sort of thing. Like, you put yourself in a location where things are going on that you actually want to take part in, and then you're going to meet people that are doing that same thing, that are like projecting that same energy. And that's the second point I wrote was um projecting the energy that you want to attract, like the law of attraction or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's so true. Like, put out that positive energy, and that, like, be the person that you want to attract, and that's what's going to happen. And that's what
Yeah.
I've noticed this year for sure. And the last thing I wrote for what I learned was, I had a lot of family drama last year, like 2022, that spilled into 2023. And I spent a lot of energy worrying about what people were thinking about me, if they were thinking about me, like trying to mend fences with people that didn't have any interest in mending fences with me. And I just realized, like, put your energy into the people that are putting their energy into you. Like,
Mhm.
why waste any time worrying about what somebody thinks about you when they're not even thinking about you? Like,
Yeah.
just, like, even when it's family, and that's hard because, we're taught that family, blood is thicker than water, and that, like, family is everything and blah, blah, blah. Honestly, chosen family comes out on top most of the time
So
anyway.
real. That's so real.
Yeah.
That's so real. Yeah,
Mhm.
chosen family is such a big thing that we talk about on here because it's so true.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, all right. What was your peak of 2023?
Yeah, again,
Again.
definitely moving out here. But I think if I were to be more specific, my peak is where I live, like the apartment building that I chose. And people
Mhm.
always ask, like, "Oh, why'd you choose Ladysmith?" Like, because it's a tiny town. It's like population 8,000 or something. Like, it's this small little coastal town.
Yeah.
Why did I pick Ladysmith? I didn't really. I searched dog friendly apartments, BC. I didn't even say Vancouver Island. Dog friendly apartments in British Columbia. That was my search. I didn't care if I was in Kelowna or fucking, like, Tofino. Like, I mean, Tofino, that'd be crazy. But
Yeah.
like, I could have ended up in Surrey. Okay. Like, which would have been bad, but I could have been anywhere in BC. And I ended up finding this apartment, this beautiful apartment. And this ended up being most of my social circle is other women with dogs that live here, and they've become my closest people. So I think my peak really is this apartment building, and
Yeah.
finding this as my home. So
Um, fuck, you just said something that I wanted to hit on. It just slipped my mind. You said da, 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 da. Oh, I actually talk about you a lot. Every time I'm working at the bar and I'm like, "Oh, you guys are visiting?" They're like, "Yeah, we're from Vancouver." I'm like, "Oh, my best friend lives in Ladysmith." Oh, and
yeah.
I always talk about it. I think
Mm,
that's the one thing
I
I
love that.
always related to. So that you just reminded me of that. That's why.
Oh, cute. I love that. Yeah.
And so if that was your peak, what was your valley?
My valley was definitely my the anxiety that I experienced. When I first was thinking about this question, I was like, why can't I think of any valleys? Like, definitely the year hasn't been perfect. And when I said 9 out of 10, this would have been that one that kept me away from the 10. And that was, like, I've always struggled with things like a general anxiety disorder, but it really shifted for me in June, July, August, where I was barely leaving the house other than, like, getting outside hiking and stuff. And I had trouble even just going to the grocery store without having a panic attack. It kind of switched to more of like a panic disorder where I was having panic attacks in the middle of the night in my own room, like, with no reasons. And I was, like, heavily self medicating with not the right stuff. And then I guess that all came to a head when I ended up in the hospital from it. And like that 8 hours that I spent in the psych ward,
Brother,
that was the value.
not you texting me, guess where I am? And I said, between a girl's legs.
Yeah.
And you sent me a photo of your hospital bracelet. And I was like,
You thought you were so funny. I'm like, yeah, I wish. No, I'm in the psych ward, brother. Like,
no, you didn't even respond. And I was like, oh God.
Yeah, so that was my lowest point of the year. But as soon as I got on a daily medication, I've been like, it's night and day. I'm a different person. Like, I don't even think about it anymore. Like, it doesn't even really cross my my like my mind anymore. Feeling anxious and whatever. So I think I needed to hit that lowest low to get on a daily medication. Otherwise, I would have never, and I would have just continued kind of falling downhill. So although it was a valley, like the bright side of it is that I needed that to to shift my plan, my health around. So yeah,
that's fair. But I think you're at a really good place now.
Yeah, for sure.
I would say. All right. Well, what are you proud of this year?
The first thing that comes to mind is this podcast. And you said the same thing. Like when Stella and I set out on this, it was like, it was kind of just two dudes being guys talking shit. Like, and
just
just trying to be funny. Like, and then we've got people reaching out from Germany saying that we've changed their life, and we've got young kids reaching out to ask about, and how, and helping them with theirs. And it's been the most fulfilling project that I've ever worked on. Like, yeah. So what am I proud of this year is, moving out here and building a life on my own, but just a close second is this podcast and where it's taken us.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Totally agree, man. All right. And who was the most influential person that you met this year?
That's hard because all of my closest people out here, I obviously met this year because it's all still new, but I chose Amy as my most influential person. She was right by my side when my health wasn't good in the summer, and we spend a ton of time together. I work with her, and she's taught me a lot. Like, she's a certified life coach, and so we've had so many free coaching calls and so many, coaching conversations where she's helped shift my focus and shift my perspective on things. And I've learned a ton from her. So she's definitely been the person who's had the most influence this year.
I love that. Amy seems like an incredible person, and I cannot wait to come meet them in March.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So now let's go. This is kind of a quick question before we get into our projections. As we today, as we're recording, when this episode's released, it'll be January, but right now we're the day before New Year's Eve. So as the year comes to a close, how do you feel right now? Like, give us a couple lines. How do you feel right this second going into the new year?
I would say I feel tired.
Mm-hmm.
I am tired, but in a good way, I guess, because I'm just doing things that I love. I feel content with the process that I've made. I feel proud of myself. I feel loved by those around me. I feel grateful for good health and my parents' good health and my brother's good health. And, I think I'm feeling, especially last night, actually, I had a really good night last night. I haven't gone out to the club in like almost 3 months with my friends. And last night I had a Friday night off, and I have tonight off, but I had a Friday night off, and my buddies were like, let's go to this club. And I was like, hell yes. I haven't been in 3 months. I want to go. I haven't been forever. And it's like, it was a techno night, which is perfect. And I just remember dancing, and I can't stop smiling when I'm there. I couldn't stop smiling because I just felt so happy to be having the freaking time of my life and like being able to remember it.
Mm-hmm.
I this entire year since I've been sober, like the last almost 7 months, at least not before that, but I did so many things before I was sober that I don't remember. And I wish I did, because they were probably like funny, hilarious memories. I just can't remember them, so I was blacked out. But now, like all these memories I've made in the last almost 7 months, like I remember all of it for the most part. I have pretty shitty memory also, um, but I get to remember these moments with my friends and moments where I like stopped and looked around and I was like, wow, I really love these people. Like, you know what I mean? And I think I feel just like super grateful for where I am and the opportunities that I've been given. And I feel happy. And sometimes I want to run away and never look back. But as of right now, I feel content with my life and I'm happy and I'm excited to see what this next year brings.
Nice. That's a great
Yeah. How
answer.
about yourself?
Yeah, I would say I feel good. I feel excited about starting the year here, and I feel ready. I feel yeah, I feel good. I feel strong. I feel healthy. I feel excited about my relationship.
Mhm.
I feel excited.
Oh my god, so do I. I feel really bad. I didn't say that, but I am excited for my CSP right now as well. And
Well, but you guys, yeah, it's just, I don't feel bad. It's different. Like, we're in a relationship with like forever plans together, and you guys are still
yeah,
working out, where you're at and what's
yeah.
going on. So,
For what it's worth, I am happy to see what the next steps. We've talked about going on to like Quebec and
Mhm.
play some trips in the next couple of weeks and months.
Mhm.
So I am excited though.
Yeah.
Okay, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's funny. No, yeah, I feel good. I feel healthy. I feel excited. I feel like I feel in love, and I just feel good. I feel good as fuck. Yeah. So, okay, now let's go. Oh my God. I'm a fucking simp. That is what I've
Oh,
learned. Like,
I know. I'm a hard golden retriever though, and I need my black cat
yeah,
lesbian.
yeah, yeah, you do. You do.
Yeah, I do need my black cat.
All right.
Anyways,
So let's switch to projections.
all
What are
right.
your goals for 2024?
Hit the 1 year mark for being sober. Um, make a dent in my debt.
Yeah.
I want to like pay off at least like what I owe from income tax. 'Cause this place is a fucking robbery,
Mhm.
and and I want to make a dent in my student loans and stuff, and then focus on saving for moving out west. And I want to travel more, and I want to grow this podcast even more. Like I think those are like my main things: is do well in money and pay off what I need to pay off, grow this podcast, and stay sober.
Nice. Those are great goals.
Yeah,
And do you feel like what do you need around? Like, what can you do to help yourself accomplish these goals?
therapy.
Like always.
uh, I think I need to make more time for self care. Um, I need to push myself to stay motivated. It's a really big thing for me. I have a hard time doing that unless I have something that's like on the line.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like unless there's a reason for me to be motivated, like it's hard for me to make myself motivated. So I need to learn and ask for help when I need it.
That's a good one. And do you
Yeah.
think that you right now have the right people in your circle? to help you accomplish your goals?
Yeah, I do. There are some people I'd like to kind of have in my life a little more. Um, I take it very seriously. I think that was one thing that stuck with me that my ex said. They were like, "You need to surround yourself with better people if you want to make a change in your life." And I was like, "What are you talking about? I love all these people." And then as soon as I cut those people out of my life has been 1,000 times better.
Mhm.
And so she was right there, and she was right on many things. And so now I what I believe is a really great crowd of people around me, a group of people, and that all love me and want the best for me and push me to be the best version of myself.
Mhm.
So yeah, I do.
Okay, great. That's awesome. That's important.
Mm.
Especially like when you're doing hard things like being sober and, you know, focusing on your career and being financially smart, like having the people around that also share those values make a big difference for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so what do you want? I like these questions here. What do you want
Mhm.
more of in 2024? Give us a couple words.
Uns, uns. More uns, uns.
Yeah.
More laughing, more smiling, more friends. Not making more
Right.
friends.
Okay.
No, I'm
I
just
was gonna
kidding.
say.
I do still want to make friends, but more time for friends, more time for family, and more time for sex.
Wow. Yeah. Nice. I love that. More instance. I'm dead. That's hilarious.
I love it. I found something that gives me this high, and I don't even have to do anything. Like I'm dude, I'm not even joking. Like I walked out yesterday after like an hour and a half of just like straight dancing, and I was like, I need some fresh air. And I walked out up those stairs. My knees were fucking noodles. I felt like I just did a workout,
Mhm.
and I was so sweaty. And my eyes were so fucked and my hearing was gone, and I was like, I feel so fucked up right now, but I'm not, and I can go and drive home because I'm sober.
Yeah.
But I just like in the moment it's like a secondhand like high and drunk, and you know what I mean. It's like, so like it's just like I get so happy to be there because I love the music so much. It makes me feel like it's like so euphoric.
That's a good word.
And yeah, and so I just love it. So I want to go to more instance.
Yeah. All right. Okay. And
Yeah.
what do you want less of in 2024?
Arguing about stupid shit. I want less of that, less of arguing over stupid shit. I want less of speaking about myself in a low manner. Less yeah, I want less bad talking myself
Mhm.
and less straight girls.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Oh god.
Okay, and now last question about this upcoming year. Okay, so let me just backtrack for a sec. So, l- okay, wait. So last year, in this same time last year, I was listening to this podcaster, Mary's Cup of Tea, and she was doing like walkthrough journal prompts. And so she did one that was picking one word that you want to represent your upcoming year, like really boiling it down to one single word that you want to represent the year. And so this time last year, I knew that I wanted to move. That was literally my only thing that I knew for sure. And I kind of thought out west, but I had no fucking plans at all. Like everything was so all over the place. And the word that came to my mind for what do I want for 2023 was grounding. And
Mhm.
like when she said pick a word that represents the year, that came to mind. No other word came to mind, and it popped into my head right away. I could not, even if I tried, have successfully done that more. Like grounding. Are you like I found the exactly where I want to be. I found the people I want to have around me. I have the partner that I want to have. Like I feel completely like locked in and secure and comfortable and confident. Like I couldn't have picked a better word and I couldn't have accomplished it more. So
Yeah.
that is that I'm passing that over to you now. Pick one word that you want to represent this following year, and then just keep that in your mind as you go throughout the year.
I put living.
Mhm.
I just want to live, and I want to live my life to like the fullest. I've always been like this, and my parents, when I was a kid, were always like, "Why are you doing all these things?" I'm like, "Because I want to have memories. Like, I want to have memories to tell my kids one day. Like, I don't want to live a boring life." And then my kids are like, "Oh, what did you do in your life?" And I'm like, "Nothing." Like, I'd be like, "Guys, you have no idea all the things that I used to do when I was younger. Like, I just want to live,
Yeah.
and I want to make sure I'm doing things to the fullest."
Mhm.
And yeah, that's just kind of how I feel. It's just like that's how I feel. Is that I want to live.
I love
I
it.
want to live. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's a good word.
Yeah. All right. All right, Sarah, your time for your predictions of 2024. What are your goals for 2024?
So
Or wait, did we do the how are you feeling right now for you?
oh, yeah,
Did
we
we?
did that. Yeah. I
Okay,
said
cool.
good. Super good.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
uh,
So okay, yeah.
yeah, my
Here we go.
goals for 2024, I wrote down focus more on my career, which because I didn't really do that a lot this year. I focused on getting settled and making my way out here, but I would like to shift my focus back to my career and grow professionally, whether that be
Mm,
well, definitely learning more and maybe some extra certifications. And I'm switching from one kind of section of my team to a different section, and so I'll be learning a lot more there. And I just want to focus a little bit more of my energy on growing and growing professionally. So I kind of felt like I had to say that, but uh, upon moving out west, my life focus is way more on what happens when I sign off. Like
mhm.
when people ask what I like to do or what I do, like when somebody asks me what I do, I'll give them like a one line, okay, I work for such and I do this. But what do I like to do? I want to be outside. I want to be hiking. I want to like going into this next year, I've started doing one new hike a week with my dog, like going to one brand new place. Um,
How many places out
so
there?
okay, so I was just gonna say, so I dropped Amy off at the airport the other day, and I had Nala with me, and I'm like, oh, I'm like in Victoria, so down at the bottom of the island, about an hour and a half from where I live, and I was like, oh, like I'll do a hike with Nala before we get back in the car and drive home. So I opened up my
Yeah.
All Trails app and I looked for like hikes within. I think like I put like 25 kilometers of where I was at the airport. There was
Mhm.
175 hikes
Mm,
within like I probably within like half an hour of where I was sitting. And I'm like, what the fuck? That's insane. So
That's
I just
wild.
scrolled through, picked one with nice views, and then we went and I'm much more brave now with like as far as like wildlife and um
Yeah.
all that.
Is it more cougars in the
Well, there are cougars still.
Yeah.
Fucking I guess I carry like some protection and stuff. So anyway,
Yeah, for sure.
just yeah, so doing like my goals for 2024, I want to do more hiking. I tend to go for easier hikes, like because I tell myself I couldn't do like the harder, more advanced stuff, or like the 4 hour hikes and 4 hour plus sort of hikes, and I can, and so can Nala. So I want to push myself more. I want to push my physical activity more in that way.
Yeah,
So yeah,
we love to see it.
hmm
Amazing.
yeah.
Awesome. What can you do to help yourself accomplish these goals, Sarah?
I think being brave and uh, just going for it, like just being brave and
Mhm.
being confident and um, yeah, and just believing in myself, whether it be with my career, applying, to upper positions, even if I'm, like hesitant, if I could do it, like just pushing
Mhm.
myself in all ways, physically, mentally, spiritually, like all those ways. So yeah.
Mhm. Nice. And do you think you have the right people in your circle to help you do that?
I think yes, I do. as I move on to this new team at work, my new the new manager that I report to is amazing. And I know she has my best interest in mind, and she'll help me with my career stuff. And all my social friends around here are all into hiking, and I know they'll want to join me. And yeah, so I definitely have the right circle of people. And I have you and other supportive friends, and I have a very supportive partner. So, and a supportive family. So I think I've got it all. Got a good team.
Nice. We love that.
Yeah.
And what would you say that you would like more in 2024 this next year?
Fresh air,
Uh-huh.
meaningful conversations,
Uh-huh.
travel,
Uh-huh.
new hikes,
Uh-huh.
and more laughing. I copied that one from you.
That's okay. Okay, we love that. I love to see that. And what would you like less of in 2024?
My brother once read me this quote, and I'll misquote it, but it was something like, okay, I don't remember what it was, but the point of it was that to stop wasting time talking about other people. And of course, we're sitting on a podcast where we do talk about other people, mostly people we've slept with. But what I want less of is negative conversations about other people. Like the gossiping, like who's doing what. If it's like, if we're talking about so and so's engaged, so and so bought a house, they expanded in their career, they're living their best life. I love to talk about that. I could talk about that all day. I love to talk about other people's wins. But what I'm tired of talking about is like the default conversation with people, especially small talk, even at the grocery store, the default to be negative. Oh, like raining again today, or oh, like it's cold. Always about the weather. It's so Canadian. Like, oh, like did you see that there's construction going on? And like I would rather, like, I don't know, just small talk is so lame and stuff. But like
No, I get
let's talk about positive things. Like, I know it's raining. I was outside. You don't need to tell me that it's raining. Like,
it.
let's talk about how good that is for the plants and the trees. Like, like let's just less negative conversation.
Okay.
Less makeup. I want to start being more comfortable with less makeup on. I was saying to my partner the other day, like, I feel more confident with less on. So I don't know why when I'm getting ready to go out that I feel like I need to put so much on. Like
Yeah.
anyway, so less makeup. And less, this one's hard, a very difficult one, but less stress. I think that so many diseases that people get in their at any age come like from stress. And
Yeah, I feel
worrying about not worrying about what's out of our control, and just worrying about what we can control, and not worrying about trying to control other people and the news and what's going on in all these other like just keeping your focus kind of on yourself, not in a conceited or self-centered way, but just control what you can control and don't stress about what you can't, because it really does affect your health. And so as much as we can, let's try for less stress and just letting things roll. Yep, that's all.
Yeah, okay. Love it. We love it. And then I guess did you want to talk a little bit more about the one word that represents your 2024?
Yeah, so okay, yeah, so the grounding was 2023. So that's what I
Oh,
chose.
right.
Yeah. And so
Okay.
for my one
So
word,
what is the one word that you want to represent 2024 then?
so I thought about this yesterday on a hike, and I am having the tendency to go with the first one that pops into my head because that's what feels the most natural. So the first word that
Okay.
came to my head for representing 2024 is connection. So
Ah.
connection, finding deeper connection with my friends, my family, my partner, my dog, my like connecting deeper with nature, connecting deeper with my mindfulness and meditation practice that I've totally been neglecting, connecting more with myself and what I want and what I want my next 10 years to look like, and connecting more with my body, and yeah, just making new connections, building deeper connections with ones that I have already, and yeah, just connection in general.
Nice. I love that.
Mhm.
We'd love to see that.
And then I have that's all for our projections.
All for our chats.
But I
Friends
had a
and
few
family.
final thoughts as we go into the new year. Okay, so for the listeners, thank you for staying tuned an hour and 10 minutes into our chat here. Okay, as we go into the new year, let us as a society stop being so obsessed with diet culture and weight loss. The amount of years that I wrote down my goals for the following year and weight loss, losing weight, losing 10 pounds, losing 15 pounds, losing this percent body fat was always the top of my list for my whole fucking life. And if you want to get healthier and eat better and you want to lose weight, like I'm super happy for you, but do not feel like that's what you need to be doing. Like it's more important to spend your energy on finding love for yourself at the body that you're sitting in right now. We only have one body. This is all we have forever. So be kind to yourself. Stell, you mentioned being kinder to yourself and speaking kinder to yourself. Like, I guess my stance on this is just to reinforce anti-diet culture. Like, I'm just tired of the new year, new me. Like, everybody knows if you go to the gym is going to be fucking packed this month upcoming because everybody wants to lose weight. Everybody ate too much over Christmas or whatever, and they're obsessed with losing weight. I'm just so over that. Like, neither Stella or I mentioned that in our goals. We're not trying to lose a certain number of inches off our waist. Like, if I lose weight from hiking and I feel better about myself and feel healthier, like feeling healthy and feeling good about yourself, oh my God, I'm super into that. But the obsession with the scale and the numbers and the body fat percentage, I'm just so over it. And I think it's toxic and I think it's harmful. And if you want to lose weight, I'm happy for you. But my stance on it is just don't feel like that's the end all be all goals for the year. And do you want to do the next one?
Yeah. Declutter your space, your mind, and your social circle, your work, your commitments. Like decluttering. Like I find I put too much on my plate a lot of times, and I feel like I'm gonna explode, and I'm very stressed out all the time, and what I need to do is take a break, and I need to declutter my life and my mind and take one step at a time and tackle anything one at a time, because if you do too many things at a time, you're going to burn yourself out. And it's just like, especially like I find if my space is a mess, I feel like my life's a mess. And it's just like a domino effect that once my bedroom and my life and my car are a mess, I feel like everything else is. And you got to declutter, because as soon as that's clean, I feel like, okay, I can breathe again. What's next?
And that shifts. Read the next one because that totally ties together with what you're saying.
Okay, so reprioritize, evaluate your wants, needs, capacities that you have to help others. So that's also something that even Sarah and I have had this conversation where I was like, well, sometimes I feel like maybe I can't show up for you all the way that I'd like to, because I don't have the mental capacity to be the way I want to be, because I'm incapable right now or have the energy to do that, because I'm going through stuff, or you know what I mean? And so it's like, just make sure that you're taking care of yourself, because you can't really show up for other people if you can't show up for yourself, you know? So that's kind of how I feel about it.
No, yeah. So decluttering, also like your phone, like delete the apps you're not using, clean up your camera roll, like go through your subscriptions and make sure you're not paying for shit you don't need. Like I'm in the process right now of flipping my apartment upside down and cleaning everything out and throwing things out that I don't need, like clean out your closet, all these declutter and reprioritize. what you really want to do every day and go with that, and not base it on what you used to, what, just because you've done it for 5 years doesn't mean it needs to continue into this next year. And kind of basing off what Stell said about knowing your own capacity, find in this next year, I hope everybody can find comfort in establishing boundaries, whether it be with your partner, your friends, your family, your coworkers. Like, take time to really think about what you have to give and set the boundaries,
Mm-hmm.
whether it be with your, mother-in-law, with, how much time they're spending with your kids, or like just how much time you're committing to your partner for whatever. Like, just prioritize yourself. And even though it's difficult, it's really fucking hard to tell your best friend, hey, listen, Stella, like, I've had a fucking shit day. I know you're going through it right now. Can we please talk tomorrow? I can't show up for you like I need to, and tomorrow would be better. That's a hard conversation to have, but that's a boundary that you're protecting yourself. And at the end of the day, you're showing up better for your friend if you wait a couple hours or wait till the next day. So the
Yeah,
courage to do.
I'd rather a friend tell me that than to try and be there for me and kind of be shitty.
Yeah. So yeah, that's our advice going into this new year. This episode will be released on January 3rd. So happy New Year,
Yeah.
everyone.
Happy New Year, everyone. And here's the love, here's the honor. If you can't come in, or come on her.
Wow. I don't know what the fuck I thought you were gonna say, but that isn't it. That is not it. Holy shit.
Not me saying that for my Christmas dinner with my parents and my brother. Everyone died. My brother just started dying, laughing. My parents were just dying. They thought it was the funniest thing ever.
Oh, fuck. Jesus Christ. All right. Well, that's Stella's advice. I guess I'll say that's my advice.
No. I don't know. Pick you guys. Be happy, laugh a lot. Fucking pick good people in your life.
Mhm.
And have all the sex that you want to have. And don't be ashamed of your kinks. Maybe some of them, but just not all of them. I'm just joking. But yeah.
Yes. Happy New Year, everyone. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening to us this whole year. Like,
Yeah.
it's been
Such an
amazing.
incredible-
And we're
Thanks for the journey, and
Mhm.
this next year is it's only up from here.
Yeah.
It's only up from here.
Yeah.
So
thank you guys. Have a great day. Have a great year. And we'll talk to you next week. And thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming.
Bye.
Yeah.